It starts quietly, as many royal shifts do, not with a headline, but with a gesture, a name mentioned in passing, a photograph barely noticed, a university student walking across campus with a map in hand, her boots worn from training exercises, her face unbothered by press attention. She is not a princess, not formally. She is Lady Louise Windsor. And this quiet young woman, long out of the spotlight, is suddenly the subject of growing speculation. Whispers now echo through the press and palace circles alike. Could Lady Louise be the monarchy's next quiet force? With Prince William reportedly eyeing long-term support and the royal roster increasingly strained, might the teenage daughter of Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, be stepping forward? Not out of ambition, but duty? This is Crownverse, where we do not chase scandal, but trace the stories beneath the surface. If you believe royal history deserves more than headlines, subscribe now. Because here, we look not just at the crown, but at those rising, silently, to carry it. Lady Louise Windsor was born in 2003, the first child of Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones. At the time, her birth was not front-page news. She arrived early via emergency C-section. Her father, the youngest child of Queen Elizabeth II, had long embraced a lower-profile royal path, one grounded in charitable patronage and media production rather than political visibility. And so, Louise's childhood unfolded with a rare privilege: space. She grew up largely out of the public eye. She attended regular schools. She developed an interest in carriage driving, a passion she shared with her late grandfather, Prince Philip. And she was rarely, if ever, subjected to the relentless media glare that shaped the lives of her cousins, Princes William and Harry. In 2021, Lady Louise made headlines only briefly when, on her 18th birthday, she became eligible to choose whether to use the title Her Royal Highness Princess Louise of Edinburgh. The decision, notably, was hers. She chose not to adopt it. This moment was symbolic. Here was a royal descendant being given a choice, a quiet personal referendum on her place within the monarchy's machinery, and she declined the trappings. She remained simply Lady Louise. But the tides of royal life have shifted dramatically since then. The deaths of Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II left a generational gap. The departure of Prince Harry and Meghan from working royal duties created further strain, and the ongoing controversy surrounding Prince Andrew left another vacuum. King Charles, aiming for a streamlined, slimmed-down monarchy, has sought to focus on a core team of senior working royals: himself, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. But illness has touched that core. Charles himself is undergoing cancer treatment. Catherine has stepped back from public duties for similar reasons. Prince William has, in the meantime, increased his visibility. But he cannot do it alone. And so the question emerges: who will support the monarchy's public face in the coming years? It is in this context that Lady Louise's name has resurfaced. Commentators across several publications, including Sky News Australia, Marie Claire, and Hello Magazine, have begun referring to her as the royal family's secret weapon. Not because of any formal title or public campaign, but because of her unique position: educated, discreet, respected, and not yet entrenched in the exhausting rhythms of working royal life. She is currently a student at St. Andrews University, studying English literature, the same university, notably, where Prince William and Catherine met. Recently, it was revealed that she joined the University Officers Training Corps, a voluntary organization that introduces students to military training and leadership development. This involvement has led some royal commentators to suggest she may be preparing, consciously or otherwise, for a future involving duty. But here, we must separate fact from narrative. There has been no official statement from the palace or the king indicating Lady Louise is being groomed for a full-time royal role. No announcement from Prince William requesting her involvement. No public move by the royal household to include her in state functions. What exists is potential and commentary. Royal historian Gareth Russell noted that Louise, like her brother James, holds titles but is not expected to work full-time for the monarchy. But given recent pressures, that dynamic could shift. Others have speculated that if William, as future king, wishes to maintain a modern but functional public monarchy, he may need to rely on cousins and extended family, particularly those with clean public reputations and private commitment. In this light, Lady Louise offers something rare: credibility without controversy. She is beloved within the family, regarded highly by Queen Elizabeth, and close to both the Waleses and her own parents. Her appearances during the late Queen's mourning period, particularly her poise during public vigils, earned her quiet praise. But would she accept such a role? That remains unknown. Louise has expressed no desire for fame. Her decision not to use her princess title suggests a preference for privacy. And Sophie, her mother, has consistently emphasized the importance of normalcy in her children's upbringing. In a 2020 interview, Sophie said she hoped Louise would be allowed a life as normal as possible. And yet, royal life is rarely static. Circumstances change. Duty calls in unexpected ways. And for a family increasingly stretched, the idea of a next-generation royal stepping up, gently and gradually, is not so far-fetched. The narrative emerging now is one of soft preparation. Louise is seen as being kept close, not in secrecy, but in proximity, a reserve, a quiet support, someone who could, in time, serve on behalf of the crown, not as a full-time royal, but as part of a flexible, responsive team. The question, then, is not whether she will become a working royal tomorrow. It's whether the monarchy, facing illness, attrition, and generational shift, can't afford to not have her in the wings. Because monarchy, despite its pageantry, is also logistics. Ribbon cuttings, ceremonies, patronages, hospital visits, public representation across hundreds of institutions and organizations. And right now, that burden falls on a shrinking few. Lady Louise represents more than a name. She represents continuity. She's the granddaughter of a queen who defines stability. She's the daughter of a duke known for discretion. She's the cousin of a future king who may, in time, ask her to serve. But none of this is guaranteed. Louise could choose a life far from royal corridors. She could write books, become a professor, pursue a life of intellect and privacy. And no one could blame her. Yet if she steps forward, even slightly, it would carry powerful symbolism. That there is still a generation of royals born not into power, but into possibility, who understand the delicate balance between self and state. For now, we watch. No titles have changed, no new roles announced, but the speculation will continue because it taps into something the monarchy needs: reassurance. In an era of turbulence, people look for quiet strength, and Lady Louise Windsor, whether she steps forward or not, has come to embody that strength, not by declaring it, but by simply being. This is Crownverse, where we do not chase scandal, but trace the stories beneath the surface. If you believe royal history deserves more than headlines, subscribe now. Because here, we look not just at the crown, but at those rising, silently, to carry it.